Welcome to the Fright Lab. It is now the 7th entry of our spooky season 2025, 31 days of horror, 31 days of Halloween, 31 for 31, whatever you want to call it. And tonight we're doing a movie from 2013 called Berberian Sound Studio. This movie's been sitting on my to-watch list for some time. I don't know why it's kind of slipped through my fingers as much as it has. But it's been sitting on my to-watch list for a long time, and I've just never gotten to it until now. I'm glad I watched it, but I think this is going to be... Just listen, you'll understand what I mean. So, Berberian Sound Studio is sometimes referred to as a Giallo, or a kind of homage to a Giallo. Well, okay, great, but what is Giallo? Okay, so if you go back to, I want to say it was episode 4 of our show, where we discussed Suspiria, the Argento classic and the Luca Guadagnino remake, reiteration, whatever you want to call it. We talked a little bit about Giallo, and I don't know that I, one, want to relitigate that here, and two, I don't know that I can relitigate that here. The reality is Giallo is sometimes a genre. It's also sometimes a kind of set of stylistic boundaries. Giallo's a weird one. So the term Giallo literally means yellow in Italian and references a type of magazine. I want to say it was like horror stories or like mystery kind of crime story magazines. So the term Giallo and subsequently Gialli, which is the like pluralized form of Gialli, is what you would call kind of the overall arcing Giallo thing. So, right, Giallo, is it a genre? Is it not a genre? Man, I don't know. I've been thinking about it for a while and I don't genuinely have any good answers. But so Berberian Sound Studio is kind of about Giallo and has a lot of Giallo elements. To wit, here's the rundown of the plot. A sound engineer comes from the UK to Italy to help do the audio and Foley for a horror film. Well, right. So he's in over his head and he doesn't realize it, but not in the way you would expect. Typically in a Giallo film, someone's in over their head. They're going to be likely stabbed to death by someone wearing black gloves. That doesn't happen here, but the movie's a lot weirder than that. And I think it kind of goes outside of what Giallo is. Typically, Giallo is a kind of slasher, psychological horror, crime and murder kind of horror. Sometimes it's supernatural. I think people will still refer to Suspiria and Inferno as Giallo. And I don't know. Maybe they're Giallo, maybe they're not. I don't want to relitigate that here. So the film itself is a lot of fun to watch from a visual sense. I like the way the movie looks. It is set in the 1970s and it really looks the part. A lot of times when films are kind of period pieces or set in an era, kind of modern-ish era, there is a level of pastiche or a kind of winking at the camera of, hey, it's the 70s. Look how 70s we are. It's that kind of thing. This movie doesn't do that at all. The style is very visually 70s. And again, it's supposed to be in a Giallo place, I guess, for lack of a better words. So it looks the part, but never feels like it's making fun of or just referencing the 70s. Do you know what I mean? So you've got that element of it, and that's fun. And it does a very good job of straying away from all of the stuff that would make it either too much of a pastiche of a Giallo or would be just too much of a just kind of weird, rugged film. And it is plenty strange. And that's one of the reasons why I'm in this very strange space about this movie, is that as much as I enjoyed watching this movie's kind of up my alley in terms of being a little experimental and a little strange and extremely dark. The movie's trying to do a lot. I feel like maybe in its reach, it kind of misses what it's trying to do. Like, again, it's reaching for a lot of ideas and a lot of concepts, but it never nails any down, I don't think. It's not that it's totally incomprehensible. That's not really the case. This movie asks a lot of its audience. Specifically, something about Italian horror kind of writ large is that you have to surrender to it and just go with the vibe and just let it kind of take the thing it wants to be and let it do that. You really have to suspend your disbelief pretty forcefully to make this one work. And for that result, or to that end rather, I think maybe it's asking a little too much of most audiences. And it's not like, oh, it's going to go over most audiences' head. I know that my fans are much, much smarter than probably me most of the time. But it's asking you to give up a lot in terms of enjoyment. You know, the characters are great. It is very tense and it's very aggressive, but not in a slashery kind of way. There's something very off-putting about this entire film. Honestly, at the end of the day, again, I'm in a space where I enjoyed it, but I won't recommend it to most people. I think the problem with one of these movies, especially around Halloween, is that it is intense and scary and off-putting, but not in the way that Halloween, the holiday, not the movie, but not the way that Halloween should be. It is intense, but it's not spooky. You know? It's a very curious position to be in with that is, yes, it's a horror film, but it is not a horror film in that regard. It is wholly unique, and if you are looking for something very unique or very different or very weird, sure, Berberian Sound Studio is great. And if you like Giallo, I mean, right now there's a lot of Giallo out there. A lot of stuff has surfaced, so to speak, between Shudder and other streaming services that you can find some good stuff. I really recommend Blood on Black Lace. I think it's a great film. The Bird with Crystal Plumage is very, very enjoyable. Giallo gets a lot weirder. There's a lot of lesser known films that are interesting. I guess if that's your bag, you know, it's worth pursuing. So Berberian Sound Studio. I enjoyed it, but you guys may want to leave this one off your list unless you like it, unless you just want to get weird one night. So, with that, I want to ask a question, fans. Did you see Berberian Sound Studio? Did you enjoy it? If you did, is it really spiritually in line with Giallo writ large? You can always let us know by reaching out to us at thefrightlabpodcast@gmail.com. We are available on most social media platforms as well as YouTube. If you just look up The Fright Lab, you'll find it, no problems. And yeah, as always, The Fright Lab is written and researched by me, Lucas Yoakum, and it is engineered and edited and beaten into this beautiful shape by the one and only Joseph Wren. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll talk to you all again very soon. Enjoy your spooky season.